Today, we confront a question so terrifying that no one else in the entire country has dared to ask it. What if everything is fine? That's right. Everyone and his mother, and even your mother, has seen the internet meme in which a dog sits drinking coffee in a burning building and then says, "This is fine." But as shocking as it may be to contemplate, is it at least possible that an internet meme is not a reflection of actual reality? In fact, is it possible that the truth is exactly the opposite of the meme? Maybe in real life, the dog is sitting drinking coffee in a perfectly pleasant environment, and then suddenly starts shouting, "Fire," when there is no fire. There's just coffee and a dog. Ever since Donald Trump fired James Comey, reporters and commentators on both the left and the right have been using words like crisis, disaster, and debacle. But what if, when the President of the United States decides to fire someone who serves at his pleasure, it's not a crisis, it's just Tuesday? Journalists keep telling us that it's a big story, but ask yourself, is it a big story in your life? Does it raise your taxes or weaken your system of government? Does it even undermine an ongoing FBI investigation? Is it possible this is just a big story in the gossip mill of Washington, D.C., but for the rest of us, everything is fine? In fact, maybe the entire election of Donald Trump is like this. Trump's an offbeat character with a tendency to tweet himself in the foot from time to time, but he doesn't seem to be violating any of the basic principles of American governance. Checks and balances are still working. Democrats are still dishonest. Republicans are still incompetent. With the exception of all the hysteria in the media, everything's pretty much the same as it's always been. Is it possible that even after the election of Donald Trump, everything is basically fine? But you might say, what if I'm a leftist and I'm terrified about the make-believe climate crisis, or Trump's make-believe fascism, or all the make-believe oppression confronting Americans with no real problems? Take a look around you, lefties. Are the people who are telling you to panic panicked themselves? Al Gore is still making long-term investments. Keith Olbermann and Charles Blow aren't in hiding. And all those Hollywood celebrities who promised they were going to flee to Canada, they're all still here. Sure, there are lots of predictions of coming disaster, but a prediction of disaster is not a disaster. It's not even an event. It's just a guy saying stuff about the future who doesn't know any more about the future than you do. Predictions of disaster make the predictors seem important, and they're a good way to make you panic, so you'll give the predictors prestige, power, and money. But look around you. Look at yourself. How's life going? Are you a dog drinking coffee, shouting fire? Stop shouting fire and ask yourself, what if everything is actually fine? Trigger warning, I'm Andrew Klavan, and this is The Andrew Klavan Show.